Hi, Assalamualaikum to everyone. Today our group will present to you about the performance appraisal review form that we have created. Before that, my name is Tengku Anisuraya binti Tengku Fauzi, and I would like to brief generally about what is employee performance appraisal. So an appraisal form is a document that managers and human resources staff use to evaluate the performance of employees. The form often includes ratings and room for comments on performance. So on an appraisal form, managers usually keep track of employees' achievement and contributions during a specific period. So the uses for performance appraisal is useful for making decisions that involves compensation, placement, training and development. Okay, so now let us proceed to the presentation of our appraisal form by my group members. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum to our lecturer, Dr. Khalid and fellow friends. So today I am Aimina Najwa, student number 2018-93752 from group NBH7B. We present about major components available in the performance appraisal form from our group. As we know, the major of components are divided into 9. However, in our group performance appraisal, there were only a few measures that we thought very important to assess. There are 9 major components for appraisal form, such as basic employee information, signature, accountabilities, objective, competency and indicators, major achievement and contribution, stakeholder input, employee comments, developmental of achievement and also development for needs, plan and goals. The following is an example of performance appraisal form provided by our group, as can be seen at the top. The most important things have been stated, namely the name of the employee basics, department, and that of objective, be complete by the employee as well as the name of the evaluator. Next, at the bottom, show how the assessment is done. We have chosen the straight ranking, as you can see here, appraisal with score. The compress all employee to others, placing the form is the best to the worst. The main advantage to show the indicator of score of employee achievement. On the left side, have been stated category that are divided into several category and contribution of work and the knowledge of work have been understood and will be evaluated from a rating 1 to 5, which represents the level of certifications of the employer and will then be comments in the space below. If the employee gets the lower or employees get the lower or highest level, a clearer reason will be stated. Move to development plan. Based on development plan, in our performance appraisal, we state the action agreed upon the employer and outcome we will obtain. We will comments from the employees themselves. As lastly, the bottom we provide signature for employee also head of department to sign upon the appraisal is done.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Husna Akila Hashim, and my part for a performance appraisal form is desirable feature. So before we start further on the form making or form explanation, so I would like to explain to you what is the 8 elements of desirable feature. First, we start with simplicity, relevancy, descriptiveness, adaptability, comprehensiveness, definitional clarity, communication, and the last one is time orientation. So what is simplicity? Simplicity in appraisal form is the quality or condition of being easy to understand or to do. The appraisal form should be made with easy understanding in order employee to fill up the form as required. Now, for example, the first pages or the first paragraph, we should start with introductions or instructions before it begins with the fill up point pages. The languages using must be easy to understand and benefit others too. Now, for example, in appraisal form that I show you now, is that I say is simplicity. It's simple. It's not too crowd that evaluator not understand what inside the form. And the first started with the employee details, the names, the department, the job position, who's their supervisor, the date completed, and then the form are segregated into section by section, which is first, like we said, started with employee details and come to a performance summary with the 5 score rating, 1 to 5, from unsatisfactory to exemplary. Exemplary meaning you are the best worker or a role model to the company or organization. Come with the instruction, evaluated instruction, come with a score, as I said before, come with explanation on overall progress, and it come also with the category, with the score on performance rating and the number of categories, so easy people to understand. And when it comes to simplicity, make it not too simple, but actually easy others to understand, easy evaluator to understand what actually organization, what actually they need for the person or employee to be evaluated. So the second one, the form should be relevancy, which is the fact of being related to the matter of hand, applicability, application, oppositeness, bearing, concernment, materiality, pertinence, and relevance. Meaning, the rating given, the point given, the comment given to the employee should be relevant. It's not more to personal matters if the evaluator knows the person. So the next one, it should be descriptiveness, which is descriptive is defined as giving details or something that describe. So you can see on this particular Excel form, Excel sheet. So you can see on exempt professional performance summary, it got descriptive, meaning the details in appraisal form. Okay, the category, the comments. So the next desired features elements should be in the form is adaptability, which is means the feeling of flexibility towards changes. It indicates the ability to handle change demand in the circumstances, uncertainty, and also stress. Comprehensiveness should be in the form, which is explained, as I mentioned before, section by section, category by category, following by rating, and the state or condition of including all or nearly all elements or aspect of something. The comprehensiveness in appraisal form must be taken seriously. The next element is definitional clarity, which is in evaluation, role clarity has been defined as the extent to which required information concerning one's role is communicated to understand by the employee. Communication between both party, organizational and also an evaluator, and also time orientations. So that's it from me. Thank you. I'll pass to the other group members. Thank you. Assalamualaikum. Bye.
Hi, my name is Amalina binti Abu Hassan. My ID student is 2018699354. So now I'm going to continue to present about the mechanical strategy for our appraisal form. So mechanical strategy is considered the best strategy because it had a score that assigned to each section and add to weighted scores to obtain the overall scores. So now I'm going to show you how I calculate the scores, the weighted scores, and the overall scores for this appraisal form. So here we got two pages for categories of exam professional performance summary. So first category we got job knowledge, and then planning and organizational skills, quality and quantity of work, and dependable and prominence. The second one we got the interpersonal relation or behavior and leadership skills. So here I already count all the scores that this employee got. So now I'm going to continue to show how I calculate the weighted scores. Okay, for the weighted scores, actually, the amount of the total scores here divided by the rate of scores, which is 5, and then times with the percentage of the categories divided back with the scores of the total of scores here. So you will got the amount of the weighted scores: 0.08 for job knowledge, 0.06 for planning and organizational skills, 0.04 for quality and quantity of work, 0.02 for dependability and promptness, 0.10 for interpersonal behavioral, and then for leadership is 0.10. So the total of all of this is 0.40. So all the categories, we had 6 categories here. So to calculate for the overall performance rating, the total of the weighted scores divided by the number of the category, you will get the overall performance rating for this employee. So that's all from me. Thank you for watching.
Assalamualaikum to our lecturer Dr. Halil and fellow friends. So today I am Nuridaya binti Ramli, student number 201886156 from group NBH7B will present about the types of meeting available in the performance appraisal form from our group. As we know, the type of meeting are divided into 6. However, in our group performance appraisal form, there were only a few types that we thought were very important to access. The following is an example of a performance appraisal form provided by our group. As can be seen, the top, the most important thing have been stated, namely the name of the employee, position, date of objective to be completed by the employee, as well as the name of the evaluator. Next, as the bottom show, how the assessment is done. We have chosen the straight ranking appraisal type. This compare all employees to each other, placing them from the best to the worst. The main advantage of the position appraisal method, and the reason it was developed in the first place, is to quickly identify who is above the class in terms of meeting the company key goals. On the left side have been stated categories that are divided into several types of work, knowledge that employees have understood, and then will be evaluated from a rating 1 to 5, which represent the level of satisfaction of the employer, and will then be commented in the space below. If the employees get the lowest or highest value, a clearer reason will be stated. Okay. Move to development plan. What is development plan? Development plan is a tool for improving employer performance. The PDP process helps manager and employees identify areas for improvement, set goal, measure progress, and outline a strategy to achieve those objectives. Based on development plan in our performance appraisal, we state the action agreed upon by the employer and the outcome we will obtain, as well as comment from the employee themselves. And for the last step is the mutual agreement on the assessment given by the appraiser and that received by the employees. The mutual agreement must be signed by the employer, the assessor, and also the head of department (HOD). Together with the date the agreement is made. That's all from me. Thank you.
Will be present about the performance appraisal, the last part of performance appraisal, which is overall evaluation. This is the most important part in the evaluation because this is where we can see if this employee is actually improve themselves or not, or they still need a guidance throughout the next following year. Alright, so I if we can see here, we have put the evaluation 1 plus evaluation 2 divide by 200 and times 100, so we get the total score is 71.5. Okay, so the overall score for this employee is only 71.5, so the grading here is above average. Okay, next, promotability. This one, for example, if the employee think or the appraiser think that this is not a good time for the employee to be promoted to the higher position, they can put not ready. For the salary increment, this one is depending on the performance. They can put 5%, 10%, or 50%, or not eligible at all. Last but not least is the bonus recommendation. However, for this form, they must ensure that CEO of the company need to comment and to be signed by the immediate supervisor or approved by the head of department. As a conclusion, appraisal forms are very essential for the growth of the company and the employee. It helps the company to find out whether the employee is being productive or is liability. Alright, so we hope that this form has shown a good example to the company to prepare a performance appraisal. And thank you.